I'm going to call the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Labor and Economic Opportunity to order. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Chair Jenkins Arno.
Here.
Representatives Robinson. Here. Van Workum. Cavett.
Here.
And Martis. Madam Chair, majority of members are present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Rep. Cavett moves to approve the minutes of the July 31st meeting, and there being no objections, the minutes are approved. So I just want to welcome everybody to what is the Encore LDSI hearing today. We had just a few that we wanted to open it back up and say if there's anybody else that wanted to come in and give their make their presentations, we wanted to make that available to them. So we're so happy for those of you who are able to come in today, and we do have a short amount of time, so we had actually a waiting list, so we were able to sift through the ones that we had and bring out the ones that we think are possibilities for funding. So with that, I just want to welcome you and call up our first presenter, which will be Rep. Bierlein. And he is with the Tittawabassee, I hope I said that right, Township Public Safety Facilities Renovations.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. I'm here today in support of a $750,000 investment to help Tittawabassee Township modernize its outdated administrative public safety facilities. The current building, built in 1958, has long since outgrown the community's needs. As the township has expanded and services have increased, so too have staffing and safety requirements. Needs the existing facility can no longer meet. It lacks a secure entrance to protect staff, and its largest space, the boardroom, is designed only for meetings, leaving no capacity for the police and fire training sessions of more than 40 people that are essential to public safety. This project will renovate the existing building, add a new second story to meet administrative and public safety requirements, and construct a new public safety garage. The funding request is for the preliminary planning design and pre-construction work to ensure the township can meet the needs of its growing community. Thank you again for this opportunity to hear about this critical project. And I believe I have some folks on Zoom from Tittawabassee Township Manager Brandy Fetterspiel and their Fire Chief Phil Shaver, who can share more about the impact this funding will have.
Hi, everyone. Distinguished members of the committee, thank you for listening to us today. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about Tittawabassee Township. I come before you on behalf of the dedicated first responders, our firefighters and police officers who serve our community. It is our primary for our public safety departments that we are pursuing this project. We are unique in Tittawabassee Township in that we are centrally located within our region of over 500,000 residents. We are home to the MBS International Airport, the state-owned Saginaw Correctional Facility, and a statewide railway system. We have a resident population of 10,000 people and have consistently been growing over the last 3 decades. It is of critical importance that we modernize our facilities to meet the needs both now and in the future for our public safety departments. As such, we have begun planning for an overhaul of our municipal campus and public safety buildings. This project is being designed to improve efficiency of our police and fire department. We are designing it for current needs and the needs of the future. As we plan our capital financing for this project, we know we have a gap. This legislative direct spending will leverage the following resources: our general fund, a public safety millage currently in place, a police millage currently in place, and our water and sewer capital funds. If awarded these dollars, it will reduce the financial burden of our taxpayers needing to pay for high levels of bonded debt. Our current facilities are outdated and lack the space needed to adequately serve our public safety teams. Our Fire Chief, Philip Shaver, will share more about this in detail shortly. Before I hand it over to him, I also want to point out that Tittawabassee Township takes our management of growth seriously. We do this through proper fiscal planning and land use management. We are also currently undergoing a modernization of our capital improvement plan funded through a grant by the MEDC. This project is a continuation of us wanting to be good stewards of our community's tax dollars by undergoing a modernization of our facilities. I will now turn it over to Phil Shaver, my Fire Chief, so he can be specific about their needs.
Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to allow us to speak. Just want to real quick, the needs for the public safety building, we share, the police and fire share the same building, the same facilities. For the fire side, we lack exhaust removal equipment to properly evacuate the truck exhaust from the facility. We have no storage at all in the current facility. We have no place for the firefighters to take showers or get cleaned up after a fire call. No locker rooms. We have one bathroom that is in a utility, basically utility room, to share amongst 30 firefighters between men and women both. We just, we have two office spaces, and that's it. We have a small room that we kind of use for training that seats about 10 to 15 people we share between police and fire. For the police side, again, they have a small locker room that was originally built for 4 people. And they now, with the staffing they have currently, far exceeds that capability. Again, there's no really good place for them, the police officers, to really get cleaned up after a shift if need be. They also have to share facilities for both female and male counterparts. Their office space is farly outgrown what they can use, and their police officers have to share a one room facility for their office work. It's just we've just outgrown the building for the most part, and looking into the future for the next 30 years, we just need a significant upgrade of the facility.
Appreciate
Thank you for your
your
time.
testimony today. Appreciate that. Members, do you have any questions this morning? Rep. Cavett?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks for being here testifying today, Rep. Does the township have a public safety millage?
That's correct. We have both a public safety millage and a police millage. The public safety millage is split between our police and fire, and the police department is fully funded by the millage. They get no general fund monies.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Rep. Robinson?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative, and thank you for coming and testifying today. In your handout, it says that the township has experienced a 134% increase in population. In that time,
Correct.
how many emergency responders, firefighters has that expanded? And could you talk on that? How many more you have since this expansion began?
Yeah, so I've been with the township 19 years in different capacities, and when I started here, I believe we had 2 full-time officers. We have taken over the MBS airport security in the last 2 years. So we have about 6, 7 airport officers, and then we have 5 full-time police officers now. We have a sergeant and a full-time chief, and then we do have 2 to 3 part-time police officers.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, I just have a couple questions. So it was mentioned that the money, the $750,000, would be going towards planning design. So can you kind of just kind of lay that out for me? What specifically is involved in that? Is it working with engineers, or what specifically are you looking at?
Correct. We're working with engineers to get the best plan to go about this. My DDA actually is in the process of purchasing an apartment complex that is right next to our offices. We kind of are housed in a corner of town. So we're looking at obtaining that and being able to hopefully put some additions on our current building. That's going to be more fiscally the right decision for us, is to try to work with what we have.
Okay, and
Well, the
so,
idea is those engineers to come in and kind of lay that out for us.
oh, okay, all right. So then, so if the money went towards planning, then do you foresee any problems going forward into the building the phase of that project then? Is there any funding that you would need to get for the building project that maybe would be difficult to get, or?
We have already secured, like I said, our general fund, capital is already putting money aside for this project. The public safety millage was actually increased this last election, so we have monies there. Our water and sewer capital fund, is doing well, so we have lots of avenues in our general fund budget. My ultimate goal is no bonding.
Okay, all right. And then when do you see the building actually beginning to go up once this project starts?
So if we received this funding, I foresee planning to take up to a year, so I believe within 2 years, we would be beginning construction.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
All right, thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Madam Chair.
All right, next up, we have Rep. Cavett with Sheboygan County Airport and the airport improvement repairs.
All right. Hello, Madam Chair. Thanks for allowing me to testify today. I'd like to introduce three folks to give an overview of the Sheboygan County Airport budget request. Chris Bauer from Northern Lakes Economic Alliance will touch on the economic impact. Rod Adams, president of the Airport Authority Board, will speak on behalf of the authority. And Mike Jarme, our airport manager, will share the operational need for these improvements. And with that, I'll turn it over to the Zoom.
Thank you, Rep. Cavett. Thank you, members of the committee, for having us today. I'm joined again, my name is Chris Bauer. I'm joined with Mike Germain, airport manager, and Rod Adams, our board president. What I've presented to you in the handout is a straightforward project that would really help the airport. It's a reconstruction of their access drive, hangar access, and parking area and terminal parking area. It's project's estimated at $184,000, and it's a crucial link for us because it's the airport is a critical link for residents on Bablo Island or Bois Blanc. And it's accessible only by air in the wintertime, as when the ferries shut down, and there are year-round residents that live on the island. So this airport serves as a link for them for supplies and for long-term parking for their vehicles when they traverse the straits to come to the mainland. And of course, for mail and also the airport terminal parking lot is also used quite a bit by our lake carriers for we have a U.S. oil or U.S. energy depot on the Sheboygan River, which is actually expanding. We get tankers in quite often, once or twice a week. And when they change crews, they use the airport. And the airport is also used for light flight. It's used by the state police and Coast Guard as well. So it's a pretty critical for our region facility for the county. The airport itself is classified as a tier 2 airport, and we had the opportunity to have the Office of Aeronautics come and speak to us last November. And their presentation, they worked with Mike Germain on some of the details to provide that report, but the results are kind of highlighted in the handout, where the direct impact on the economy for the airport is quite impressive. 21 million locally for the airport, and statewide 15 million. We were rather pleased to see that airport is such a critical piece in our economy. And for Sheboygan, population around 35,000, that's countywide. That's pretty. We were very pleased to see that. And of course the multiplier effect. How does that trickle down to other businesses in the community? And 8.5 million locally, and statewide almost nearly 15 million. So the airport itself also has 2 commercial operators that call Sheboygan home. Northwoods Aviation, of course, they provide transportation services for passengers and cargo, meaning mail and supplies for folks in our region. And of course, Contrail Aviation, they are our mechanic, our facility that can do just about everything except rebuild and machine an engine. And they run a pretty good flight school out here. So we're, the things that we do and the impact we have is pretty wide ranging. And of course, the impacts that we have with, or at least rather the requirements that the FAA has for improvements for their runways is pretty consistent. We have a pretty long 5-year program for improvements. However, a facility like what you have before you is not covered. And so that's why we were asking for some assistance today. These things in our long range plan hopefully will only need to ask sparingly. But we have plans for the airport in the future to expand our revenue growth and have an even greater impact economically on our region. So as we move forward with opening up some airport property for some manufacturing development, potentially the next 5 to 10 years, we hope to have additional revenue growth so we will be able to be more sustainable.
Well, thank you so much for your testimony. Are there questions? Rep. Robinson?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative, and thank you for coming to testify, Chris. My question is about, you mentioned this appropriation ask is for the reconstruction of the main access drive, the parking area, and main drive to aircraft hangars. You also mentioned this is utilized by police and Coast Guard. If this money was allotted, is those areas defaulty, or is it just you need expansion? And could you talk a little bit more about the specific work that's going to be done, please?
Of course, yes. It's rather aged. And it's approximately 30 years old, the facility right now. And it's an asphalt on crushed stone base. And you know what happens to that surface after 10 years? It's rather rutted. We have drainage issues. The parking area for the residents on Bois Blanc Island gets flooded pretty consistently. This project would take care of those issues. And it's just a deteriorated surface at this point. The airport access drive is heavily rutted. It is a 1-lane road, and so in and out traffic uses the same path, and it's deteriorated quite badly.
All right. Can I ask a follow-up? And this is for 184. Is there any additional cost, or is this pretty much what you need? And in that cost, is it all construction, or is there any?
No, thank you. It's all construction. This was based on an estimate by one of our local contractors, and this is all encompassing. It's they will grind the existing material, pulverize it, regrade it, and repave it, and take care of the ditching. So that's what this project will take care of. And so we would have a new surface, new facility that would last hopefully another 30 years. But that's what the project is.
All right, thank you. Other questions? Okay, so I was just curious, have you sought out other sources of funding for this project?
We have. We've asked. We went to our federal partners to see if that would fit in their program when we were looking at terminal improvements, and that project was not successful.
Okay. Okay, and then also I was just curious if this could be done in phases, or is this something that it makes sense to do it all at once?
It would need to be done all at once. The area is not that large. I think that as far as phasing would go, it still would happen within the calendar year, but it would happen rather quickly.
Okay, very good. And you already answered my third question, which was how long you thought the project would last once it's in place. So thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in by Zoom today. And thanks, Rep.
Thank you very much for having us.
Uh-huh. Okay, next up, we have Rep. Cavett with Sheboygan County Road Commission, and they are looking at a critical bridge replacement, the Orchard Beach Bridge. Go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm here to testify about a critical infrastructure need in Sheboygan County. The Sheboygan County Road Commission is requesting funding for a replacement of a structurally deficient bridge located on a county primary road about 7 miles southeast of the city of Sheboygan. This bridge, originally built in 1976, has reached a point where it can no longer safely serve the public. It suffers from cracked and deteriorating box beams, leaking expansion joints, failing slope protection, and damaged guardrails. Because of these issues, it has been rated a 2, which is considered critical and is in urgent need of replacement. This bridge is on the critical bridge list. This structure provides vital access between M33 and County F05, serving school buses, emergency vehicles, mail carriers, and commercial traffic. If it were forced to close, the detour would be 16 miles, severely impacting public services and driving up costs for local residents and businesses. The estimated cost of replacement is $8,235,575. The total state funding request is that amount. This request is in full compliance with Article 4, Section 30 of the Michigan Constitution, as the funding would be used exclusively for a public purpose. This is not simply a matter of convenience, it is a matter of public safety and vital necessity. County residents, first responders, and local businesses all rely on this bridge as a vital connector, allowing it to remain in service without replacement, a growing risk on the traveling public, and adds strains on alternative routes that were never designed that handle heavier and redirected traffic. Thank you, and I look forward to any questions.
Any questions from the members? Rep. Robinson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Representative. Talk a little, I mean, this bridge is obviously imperative to this neighborhood. What happens if you don't get the funding? What kind of alternative?
Correct. Boy, we're looking at federal funds. Also, we're working with our federal counterparts to try and find some assistance. This is the third time this bridge has been passed over. It's been on the critical bridge list for several years. We're the River City. There's not a lot of bridges in River City, and this is one of them. So it really, the biggest is there's already school buses aren't going over it. They're routing around. Commercial logging trucks and concrete trucks will not go over it anymore, so they have to route around. Public safety is just up the hill, less than half a mile. It would add a larger response time for them to have to go around. So that's the critical point right there, is the public safety aspect.
I know you're not an engineer, but if this went unchecked, how much longer? I mean, obviously, there's buses not using it. And
They're close to closing.
Okay.
They're closing.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Representative.
Yep.
Okay, so just wondered if there are any administrative costs that would be involved in the $8 million?
Not that I'm aware of. I believe the plans have already been completed, so it'd be construction costs.
Okay, so when, do you have any idea when they would be able to start construction and finish the project?
I can't speak to that, but I can
Okay.
certainly follow up with the committee.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, next up, we have Rep. DeBoyer with the City of Marine City, Marine City Community Center. Thanks for coming in today.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. Thanks for taking the time this morning. Yes, I have a request for the City of Marine City, and the request is to renovate and improve the Guy Community Center. The City of Marine City, if you're not aware, is right in the heart of the Blue Water area. It's on the banks of the St. Clair River. And the City of Marine City has been very responsible. They've done great things to help develop the city, to draw tourists to the city. But as you can imagine, I'm sure you've had many requests as you've gone through this process. Marine City is a city of about 4,000 people. They've been committed to this project to renovate the Guy Community Center. But as you can imagine, they do have additional financial commitments that are coming up. Things like water and sewer infrastructure that a lot of small towns throughout Michigan are facing because of just the timeline of the life of those things. So they have committed a number of dollars already out of their budget to this project. They have received grants, both public and private. They've received donations from community organizations. And this request would finish the project. It would create the community center that is so desired in this community to continue to maintain its name and purpose. The conversion of the facility in Moraine City is going to continue a long tradition of that facility and promote community engagement. There's many organizations from the city of Moraine City and the county of St. Clair, which Moraine City is in, that have been in support of this, including the Moraine City Area Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Development Alliance of St. Clair County, the United Way of St. Clair County, Great Start Collaborative of St. Clair County, the Blue Water Community Action, Community Enterprise, Michigan State University Extension, the Council on Aging in St. Clair County, the Moraine City Lions Club, the Moraine City Little League, and the Friends of the St. Clair River. These are all local organizations that are extremely involved. They've all committed to helping with the project, as well as a number of those organizations have committed to using that facility as their home base to do community-oriented things. Both the Mayor, Jennifer Vandebosch, and the City Manager, Michael Reeves, were unable to be here this morning, but they did want me to extend to you their appreciation that you would consider this funding source for them to finish this project. It currently is in, it is an ongoing project. However, as I mentioned, with their other critical infrastructure funding circumstances, it's kind of been delayed. What it would do, though, is it would update the main building to be fully ADA compliant. It would revitalize the outside of the building and the pavilion area that's currently not to the degree that it's acceptable for use. Would also increase additional amenities, including it would add some outdoor bathrooms. It would also become the trailhead in the city of Moraine City for a thing called the Bridge to Bay Trail, which runs from Lake St. Clair all the way up to the Blue Water Bridge in Port Huron, which is a biking and walking trail that's which is really a tremendous asset for that Blue Water area. They are actively pursuing additional grant funding from other organizations. They've been very diligent about that. If the award of the funding source from the state of Michigan, it would help them complete the project as they have planned, and it would allow the city of Moraine City to now have this asset for the people of the city of Moraine City to use and to continue to identify their community. So with that, I'll take any questions you may have.
All right, thank you very much. Rep. Robinson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Representative DeBoer. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
I want to ask specifically about this facility. You mentioned that obviously the Lions Club runs this place, right? Talk to me about the work they do distributing medical supplies to seniors.
Yeah.
Has that expanded? Talk about that, please.
Yeah, for sure. So, number one, the city of Moraine City has fully purchased this from the Lions. And you may know this in your own communities. With the operational costs of buildings, a lot of these civic organizations have decided that it's much better to have one building in their city that they all can use, as opposed to all these civic organizations. And that's what's happening here. So the city of Moraine City has purchased that building from the Lions. But what the Lions do, they are a community organization, a nonprofit, and they spend a lot of time things like wheelchairs, crutches, leader dog for the blind are some of the assets, are some of the charitable organizations and assets that they provide within the community for people who can't afford them. As you can imagine, perhaps senior citizens, elderly members of the community who may need a wheelchair. What do the Lions Clubs do? They go out and they fund those and they provide those to those people. So it's one of those things that every community needs, but it doesn't get a lot of spotlight.
Yeah, I just want to add that something like this is very important to a community like Moraine City, because there's several communities in Michigan that are like this. That it's a way. There's only like one or two ways out of there, so it's not like you can go to surrounding cities. It's kind of a secluded. So I think something like this is important. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you, Representative.
Other questions? Rep. Cavett?
What's Plan B? What if we don't get the funding?
Yeah, so I would say that Plan B, as I mentioned earlier, Moraine City has been rather fiscally responsible. They're looking at their infrastructure expenses, which I mentioned, which is their water and sewer, and stormwater separation, all those things that we're hearing about all over the state in all of these small towns. They obviously understand that that's critical, and they're going to maintain funding in the direction to fix those issues. So what that would mean is it's going to be a slow, agonizing process. My concern for the city of Marine City, if that were to be the case, is that, the small towns throughout Michigan, again, I mentioned 4,000 people, that their identity, if you get to the point that you're losing these assets, these park-like assets that these cities can use, they really lose their identity. And tourism, or people from out of Marine City, as Representative Robinson mentioned, that's the economic driving engine for Marine City. Right? It's not driven from within. So the idea behind creating this and refurbishing this is that it will allow Marine City to continue to market itself, to be a location and a destination for people to get to come to.
Thank you, Representative.
Other questions? Do you have one? Rep Van Workum?
Is it really City of Marine City?
It's the City of Marine City.
I hear Marine City, I hear City of Marine City.
Well, the technical is City of Marine City.
The official documents, it says City
of Marine City.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
right.
there you go. My question is sustainability. So, as far as, they're taking care of other infrastructure projects, which is good, but are they going to have the money then to sustain this going forward?
So that's great. That is a great question, which I did have that conversation with the city manager and the mayor, and they have already laid that plan out with their current public works department with what the long-term maintenance, just simple maintenance, right? Of it, and expensive maintenance. They do have a program or a structure already drafted that says this is what it will cost to use the facility if you're an organization. This is what you're going to pay for building rent, if you will. All of those dollars are going to be allocated to the continued maintenance of it. So they have addressed that, yes. Yeah.
Okay, and then just kind of lay out for us the economic impact. Are people kind of be coming in as to the city? Is it a chance for it to grow because of this? Kind of lay that out
Sure.
for us.
Yep. So if you're at all familiar with this region, which is essentially, the Blue Water Bridge, which is the city of Port Huron, south to the city of Algonac, which is Lake St. Clair River, that entire area is east of I-94. So there's this segment between the St. Clair River and I-94. The mainstay economic driver of that area is individuals from outside of that area, maybe Macomb County, southern Macomb County, Oakland County, or west of I-94, that come into that community from a tourist perspective or a environmental tourist, if you will, because of the St. Clair River and the Blue Water area. Marine City is not a highly industrial area. It's a bedroom community. It's residents. And so their marketability to keep people coming into their restaurants, to keep people coming into that waterfront is solely based on what their community assets are, what it looks like, and how it feels. And so this is a tremendous economic driver because it's also going to help keep those civic organizations viable and functional in Marine City. And as we all know, those civic organizations, frankly, is what makes your city. There's definitely an economic impact for the city of Marine City on this.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in.
You bet. Thanks for taking the time.
All right. Next up, we have Rep Robinson with Dutton Farm, Workforce Development Facility Expansion.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair Jenkins Arno and distinguished members of the committee. And thank you, Rep.
Can you
Robinson,
hold on?
for your.
Can you hold on just a second? We have to have Rep. Robinson introduce
I apologize.
introduce you. Nope, that's no problem. Go ahead, Rep. Robinson.
Thank you very much, committee, for here. I am very excited about this appropriation ask. I could not be more proud that Dutton Farm is in my district. But this ask will help not just my district, but their facilities in Oakland County. As someone who has family who are mentally challenged, what I love about Dutton Farm is it's instant ROI, and they've shown ROI since they've been in existence. Not only is it an adult education facility, a community involvement facility, but what I love most about Dutton Farm is the workforce development, because it takes people who might not be in the workforce and it puts them in the workforce. Instant ROI for our state dollars. And another thing I want to add, that this isn't just my ask. This is co-sponsored by several representatives, including Tisdale, Aragona, DeBoyer, Menser, and Breen. This is just a great program, and I'm proud to ask for this appropriations. To tell you more about Dutton Farm, I'm going to turn it over to Jenny Brown. Go ahead, Jenny. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Rep. Robinson, for your sponsorship for this request, and I appreciate all of your time today. So, as mentioned, my name is Jenny Brown, and I am the CEO of Dutton Farm, a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering and supporting adults with developmental disabilities by providing skill building and workforce development services since 2010. Dutton Farm was founded in honor of my sister Becca, who is wise, talented, kind, and hardworking, and also has Down syndrome. So growing up, my household really modeled inclusion perfectly. My friends hung out with her friends. I loved cheering for her at her Special Olympics competitions, and she enjoyed coming to my basketball games and cheering for me. As we transitioned into adulthood, however, it became more and more evident that the trajectories of our futures were going to look very, very different, simply because my sister had Down syndrome and I did not. That simple fact changed everything for both of us, from community access to finding employment or enrolling in higher ed. She just simply had no opportunity. So after years of being stuck at home, my parents and I decided to start a nonprofit to provide meaningful opportunities for my sister and others that might be in similar situations. We started small with passionate grassroots effort, no formal contract or budget or really infrastructure. Little did we know that what started with 5 people in 2010 would turn into 20, and then 50, and then 100, and 150 beyond today. We have worked so hard over the years to build the infrastructure and strength to continue saying yes to the needs before us. This year alone, we have delivered nearly 65,000 hours of skill building and job coaching services for employment, and have also provided over 30,000 rides into the community for meaningful engagement and skill building for greater employment. One of our pillars of community engagement is volunteerism. And this year, individuals with disabilities in our program have contributed almost 1,200 hours of service in various roles, including initiatives like Meals on Wheels and the Bottomless Toy Chest. One of our proudest achievements this year involved a group of individuals with disabilities assembling 2,000 gifts for children battling terminal illness in partnership with the Bottomless Toy Chest. Additionally, we were named Volunteer Partner of the Year for being the most reliable and consistent Meals on Wheels volunteer group delivering meals to seniors. This shows that with support, individuals with disabilities add so much value to our community and are not just recipients of services. Today, my sister Becca has a fulfilling job where she works 2 days every week and also serves as the beloved bus captain for our community involvement program. She has meaningful relationships, stable employment, and most importantly, a deep sense of purpose. I am here today because the success we have had fueled an increase in demand for our services in Macomb County. In 2022, Macomb County was facing a clear gap in services since COVID-19, and many programs like Special Dreams Farm and others had to close their doors because they did not have the financial strength or capacity to reopen once restrictions were lifted. There were individuals in Macomb County who were going without services for literally years. In 2022, Macomb County Community Mental Health CEO reached out to me asking us to provide services for individuals who desperately needed support. We, of course, said yes, and because we had no physical location in Macomb County, but the need was immediate. So even though we had limited space in Oakland, we began services at our Oakland location for Macomb residents while we worked out our contract with Macomb County Community Mental Health. Unfortunately, Medicaid dollars will not cover capacity building initiatives like purchasing vehicles or buildings for service delivery, so we had to take on a loan in order to secure a location in Macomb County for job readiness, skill building, and job development to serve our most vulnerable. To provide a little context, in Macomb County, there are almost 27,000 residents with developmental disabilities, and 62% are unemployed. Additionally, across Michigan, 64% of people with disabilities live below ALICE and 20% in extreme poverty. Employment provides purpose and is crucial for financial stability. Additionally, people with disabilities share similar ambitions and take pride in their achievements, and employment fosters social engagement, friendships, and enjoyment. Without jobs, social connections and opportunities are reduced, and isolation, financial instability, and healthcare declines. In April of 2020, universal isolation highlighted the impact of loneliness. And within weeks, many experienced depression, anxiety, and stress. Health risks of chronic loneliness are severe, comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes daily. The detrimental effects of chronic underemployment and unemployment extend far beyond financial instability. Fewer job options mean limited opportunities to contribute to shared work, fulfilling the human need for purpose, as well as limited access to the regular and organic social connections that workplaces provide, filling the human need for relationships. We believe creating gainful employment tracks
if you
within
can kind of wind
existing
up your,
enterprises.
I'm sorry, if you can kind of wind up your remarks, that would be great. We're kind of running up against the clock at this point. Thank you.
Sure. We are asking for $850,000 to purchase a building in Sterling Heights and make renovations and improvements to expand services to add job readiness and digital literacy for our Macomb County participants. We have an employment partner already. We have several in Macomb County. One is Fulex, which is a packaging company in Sterling Heights. And after partnering with us to hire one employee, they were pleased with the value that this employee added. They have since hired 5 more individuals, proving that championing hiring people with disabilities is not just the right thing to do, it's good business. They just hired another employee this year, and MRS, who is an established partner of ours, is looking to give us more referrals for job readiness and job development, but we need the space and expansion to be able to provide those services.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions from the members? Rep. Cavett.
Okay, I got, what happens if you don't get the funding? I'm sorry, I have to ask. What's plan B?
So plan B is that individuals will continue to stay on waiting lists and unemployment will continue to be at this 62% rate where individuals won't have the support needed to engage in their local economy. And then also, I think it's important to note the support we provide to small businesses in the economy by meeting the need for their talent shortages. And so those businesses will continue to go without these employment positions being filled. And these dollars, these critical Medicaid dollars, will go towards paying off a loan at a bank and paying down interest instead of going to services for the individuals that we support.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I just have a question. It said the funding will help pay off the recently acquired property and then make capital improvements. Can you kind of separate those out and let us know how much will go towards paying down the property costs and also how much would go towards capital improvements?
Sure. So about $620,000 will go towards paying off the loan. And the 200 and some $1,000 will go towards making some improvements and renovations to expand for job readiness and job development services where we already have referrals that are waiting.
Okay. And can you kind of just explain what the expansion of the facility, what did it look like? What are you hoping to put in and that sort of thing?
So we need an intake area for job seekers to come and meet with our job developers to kind of explore their gifts, learn their acuity levels, what kind of work they want to do, because we want to match the strengths of the individuals that we're providing support to with businesses that have open positions, because we want to be a win for the business, a win for the local economy, and a win for the person that we're supporting. So we need that intake area. We also need a job readiness training area where individuals can come and learn about soft skills, how to write a resume, what to wear to a job interview, things like that. And we need dedicated space for that. Currently, we only have enough space for our skill building program around greater life skills and then community access.
Okay. And then have you sought other sources of funding?
So we have Medicaid, that's our sustainability. So the investment made in the sustainable program will just cover the cost of the building, and then beyond, the services that we provide operationally, administratively are all covered through Medicaid. And I actually just had a meeting with Comcast last week, who's very interested in helping us develop out our digital literacy program for folks to be able to learn, how to create an email, how to search Indeed, and things like that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Rep. Roth with the Northwest Regional Airport Authority, Cherry Capital Airport. and they have a construction of additional terminal project.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate it.
Good
members of the
morning.
Committee. Some may not know that Cherry Capital Airport is now the third largest airport in the state of Michigan and continues to grow very steadily as summer goes along. The current director, Kevin Klein, our director, Kevin Klein, showed me a picture of a Sunday here recently where the terminal was just absolutely jam-packed. We need to expand it. We're seeing the growth. We'd like to do that. We need a little help funding it. I'll let Kevin talk about it more, but it's a real gem now, Cherry Capital Airport and the business that they're doing. It's a huge economic driver for our area. So, yeah, I'll let Kevin come on. And Kevin, good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, and thanks, Rep. Roth. Thank you to the committee. Thank you, Chair Jenkins Arno. I greatly appreciate the opportunity on behalf of the Northwest Regional Airport Authority to present our terminal addition project. As Rep. Roth said, we are the third largest airport in the state of Michigan. If you would have asked me that question 10 years ago, we would have been the fifth or sixth largest airport in the state of Michigan. What has changed? The investment in northern Michigan and our economic growth that has really taken place here over the last 10 years. The terminal plan that we're looking for is to fund a multi-year addition renovation project to accommodate the increasing passengers and modernize our terminal facility. The terminal addition aims to enhance operational capacity, improve passenger experience, and align with the industry standards. The cost of the program is $131 million. Today, we're asking for $20 million for the state of Michigan to assist us in achieving the overall goal of the project. What are we going to do with the money? We're going to look to expand to add an additional concourse or 4 new gates with the ability to expand on day 1 to a 5th. Our connector linking the gate areas, aprons to accommodate the aircraft, a security checkpoint that upgrades and enhance security screening capacity and efficiency, the additional hold room space, and then also passenger boarding bridge. The why are we doing it? The current terminal design and what I went into operation in 2004 was designed to accommodate roughly 300 to 350,000 passengers. Today, we're serving over 787,000 passengers. That was a record in 2024. Already in 2025, we are up 23%. The terminal was designed around regional aircraft. Today, we're seeing mainline aircraft. The difference is those regional aircraft had 40 to 50 seats on them. Today, we're seeing aircraft upwards of 176 to 192 seats. The economic impact of this terminal, of the airport, I should say first, is we're greater than $1 billion to the our annual economic impact to the state of Michigan. That continues to grow. With this terminal addition, we expect our economic impact to be upwards of $2 billion. There's over 1,400 jobs here at the airport. We expect, as indicated when we built our last terminal, that there'd be about a 25% increase in jobs at the airport, or about another 350 jobs to do that. The continuing growth is supported by 7 great airlines. In 2004, we had 5 nonstop flights. Today, we have 20 nonstop flights. So our growth continues. As Rep. Roth indicated, and in the pictures he's seen, and I'm sure you have seen, it is shoulder to shoulder on our busy days. Our terminal is utilized. It's a 4-gate facility now. And when we justify or go through the FAA justification process, we can justify up to 14 gates. However, this is an interim step to build these 4 to 5 gates to accommodate the needs and traffic and to continue to be able to master plan and grow. You can find all detailed plans at tvcairport.com on our terminal phase. But what we look at the estimated costs that make up that $131 million, $60 million will come through FAA grants. That is very typical of the FAA, and the funding that the FAA provides is about 50% of the construction project. And then the remainder will come from state funds. with the state sponsor share of federal grants at 5%. And then also we'll see funding come from local bonding to do the remainder. And we are working on filing an application with the Build America Bureau for TIFIA funds to support the remainder. I thank you for your time this morning, and I greatly appreciate any contribution. This is a multi-year project, and we would seek funding in any way possible, whether it's through 1 year funding or over multi-years to fund that $20 million. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate any questions you may have.
Thank you so much. Questions from the audience, or audience, from the members? Rep. Robinson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for coming to testify. What if you don't get the funds? What's Plan B? I'll take Cam's question.
So if we don't get the funds, that remaining portion will need to be bonded. So the cost of bonding will take place. Those costs would then be diversified over the rates and charges of the airport and returned onto the passengers traveling. So it would probably add an additional 2 years to the project to construct and able to do that at a critical time where we need that infrastructure today.
Rep. Cavett.
What's the urgency? If you were going to 10 being the most urgent, where are you at on the scale of urgency for this project?
About a 15. And the fact of the matter is, when we look at the terminal itself, when we hit our days and we're reaching our fire code capacity of the airport facility, and in fact, we exceeded at times. So we work very closely with our safety representatives to move people in and throughout the building. And in fact, that is a critical need at this time. We're seeing multiple delays and flights and not having gates to bring people in. We're seeing people wait 45 minutes to an hour on board aircraft in order to get to gates. And so it's very critical from a safety impact that we can move people throughout the building. And we are actually, we've exceeded anything. So the ability to build right now is very critical to us.
All right, thank you.
Okay, nothing. Okay, so will any of the money, the 20 million, go towards paying down debt?
No, this is going to go directly into the terminal building itself, specifically to build passenger boarding bridge capacity and to accommodate the security checkpoint infrastructure needed to go to a 4-lane facility with the ability in the future to add a 5th.
Okay, and how about administration fees?
That is all in the planning and design of the 131 million. The design phase, which is currently taking place right now, is approximately $8 million, and that will be wrapped up. But this project, the money that we're asking from the state is specifically to be used for construction.
Okay, and then you said there's a possibility that we could break it down over a couple years. Can you kind of explain how much per year that would look like?
Of course, as much as we can get up front. How about that? But we would like it seen it broken down into 8, 8, and 4 to achieve the 20 million.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you for the opportunity. I greatly appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Rep. All right, next up and last but not least, we have Rep. Thompson with Hype Athletics and the construction of a community wellness center. Do you want to come on forward? Is she not here yet? Oh, well, we can, should we take a quick break? Go at ease. We'll go at ease for, okay, the committee will go at ease for a few minutes. All right, committee will come back to order. Rep. Thompson, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Good morning, Mrs. Chair, members of the committee. Thank you so much for allowing me to testify on this Appropriations Ask today. I'm here to request your support for a $10 million investment in a transformative project that's going to be very beneficial to Brownstown Township and the Downriver community as a whole. The construction of a new Hype Athletics Community and Wellness Center in Brownstown. So Hype Athletics is a very well-established nonprofit with a proven track record of serving youth and families throughout Dearborn, Wayne, and Detroit. This new facility will expand Hype's reach into our downriver communities, providing critical mental health services, wellness programming, and most importantly, work with our children that are autistic. We have many families downriver that are continuously reaching out to my office, and their concern is they don't have access to ABA therapy, and they're having to go out of county to get this help for their children. Importantly, Hype Athletics offers this ABA therapy for applied behavioral analysis. I have been hearing so much from the residents on how important this is, from every organization that works with these children, all of our special education teachers. The reality is that there's just nothing downriver for them, and the families would have to travel outside of the area or purchase additional insurance plans to be able to cover their child's needs. From this insurance will cover their physical therapy, but it doesn't cover their speech therapy. This insurance will cover speech, but it doesn't cover their behavioral. So these families really need this in our community. This center will integrate this mental health support directly into youth programming, helping address trauma, anxiety, and depression, issues that have surged among our younger generations. It will also give accessible counseling, peer support, and wellness education, and exercise opportunity, especially for young people that often lack access to these services. A lot of times the programs and sports programs in the downriver community, believe it or not, are just too expensive for families to be able to afford to put their kids in these team sports. Or maybe there are kids that would benefit from being able to go to a basketball court and shoot hoops, but the memberships to the community centers in our district are just out of reach for some families. I personally, as a legislator, I can't afford to get a membership for my grandsons to play basketball. They shoot hoops out in the backyard, but in the wintertime, it would be nice for them to have a facility that they could afford to go shoot hoops and get off their video games, right? So we know that this regular exercise is so important for our children, especially our children with ADHD symptoms. The risk for these children to gain obesity, to have a number of medical problems, to have behaviors in school, getting the exercise that they need in an organized environment with people that genuinely care about their outcomes is so important. Hype Athletics has the strong leadership team and the board of directors, including educators, judges, and healthcare professionals who are deeply committed to this mission, and I am proud to be joined by a number of them here today to speak to you relating this project. This is very supported by the Brownstown Township Supervisor as well as the Deputy Chief of Police, Mr. Andy Starzik. We would really love to see this come to our downriver communities. So I am going to give the floor to these gentlemen and lady.
Good morning, everybody. Dr. Ryan Lazar, longtime board member of Hype Athletics. I have with me today Maha Sebar, our CFO, and Kyle Oakley, our program administrator. Kyle is actually a testament to Hype Athletics and its programming. He grew up at Hype as a youth in our athletic programs and otherwise, and then he went out into the corporate world working and whatnot, and he decided it was time for a change. So now he's come back as, like I mentioned, our program administrator and working for our organization. We're humbled to be here. Thank you, reps and committee as a whole. We're humbled to be here and for you to have us here to garner your support, and we're extremely honored by the support that Rep. Thompson has given us. You know, obviously in respect of everybody's time and the busy agenda and the requested brevity, I saw some of you perusing the packets that we distributed. Thank you for that. Those will obviously follow along in a more expansive version of what we have time here to outline today. And the rep did a lot of justice, and I'm going to kind of piggyback briefly here in respect for everybody's time. HYPE actually is an acronym that stands for Helping Youth Progress and Excel. Obviously, our main focus is youth, but we address individuals of all ages and of all backgrounds. I kind of divided up the brief statements here into mission, why, and impact. The mission is obviously to empower the community. We do that through education, wellness, athletics, physical health, and mental health access rather. We do this in providing it in a drug-free, safe environment through various athletic and academic opportunities that we offer. We've been able to achieve this at a highly effective level at our other locations, and we're looking to expand to Brownstown so we can, of course, then have these services offered to all the downriver community. We're looking to build a comprehensive community empowerment hub. That's what we're going to deem this, because it's all inclusive, as the rep shared, with all the different services that we offer. The why? Well, obviously health disparities such as obesity and diabetes, et cetera, as well as low-income households and individuals with disabilities have been identified in all of Wayne County, including the downriver areas, and obviously plaguing our communities. We want to improve these youth outcomes by addressing these items. But like we said, we also serve the whole individual of any age. The ABA therapy is near and dear to our heart. And I was going to make a comment on one of the other testimonies earlier when we talked about the Down syndrome, and so that comes up too. But for instance, 1 in 31 is now diagnosed in autism, and that's a staggering number. So obviously our ABA therapy helps parents, because when you have a student with autism, they're in school for that portion of the day, and then there's additional training needed in these type of capacities to help the families learn how to deal with this at home and reiterate everything that's necessary. The point I was going to mention, again, with our partnerships, through the Dearborn schools, they partner with us in many different endeavors, but one of them is we house their adult special needs education program at our Dearborn Heights location. So obviously, as you're well aware, students with special needs are serviced up to the age of 26. So once they pass 18, they're actually in our building, teachers, students, and everybody in a Dearborn Heights location. We also offer MRS services, Michigan Rehabilitation Services, with individuals, they on-the-job training for custodial and maintenance type of programs. So, and again, that's just a brief view. All of the rest of it's in the packet. Impact. We're hoping to service 200,000 people served annually. Youth, seniors, low-income families, individuals with disabilities, veterans, and those with mental health issues and in recovery, because we obviously also oversee what's in there too, our safe wellness program, which addresses psychology and wellness services. We like to see the individual from the physical, mental, and emotional aspect, everything. Impact for that specific center, we would be looking to provide 35 plus permanent jobs, full-time year-round jobs, and 80 to 100 seasonal jobs. So for instance, we're coming off a very successful Discovery Summer School we ran at our Wayne location, where we had to hire and onboard 80 plus teachers for the summer. We housed 600 kids at our Wayne location in a 23-day summer school. In the construction element of it, we'd anticipate 300 construction jobs being brought on for this project. And then projected outcomes once the center is up and running, we'd look to be servicing 2,500 youth, right, engaging in sports leagues throughout the year, 600 adults in fitness and wellness programs, 350 behavioral clients served, and getting back to the ABA therapy, near and dear to the rep's heart, 120 children would be receiving those type of services. We're not here just saying these things like, oh, what if, hey, oh, we can probably do this. We're not giving you false promises, because we are actually doing these things at our other locations. And we'd be looking to bring these great services to the Brownstown area, which again would service the entire downriver area where there's disparity for this type of programming. Our motto is partner or perish.
If you can just
Yep.
wind it up real quick,
We're
thank you.
doing it right now. I'm right here. I
Okay,
promise
all
you.
right, thank you.
Partner or perish. We continue to seek partnerships with all the communities that we're in. And our mantra is, it takes a village to raise a child, and we're just hoping that you'll be part of ours with your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Questions from the reps? Rep Robinson.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative. Thank you for coming to testify. I have two questions. First off, you say that you're partnering with veteran service organizations and you're going to offer specific services. Could you expand on that? And the second question is, you also say that this HYPE Center will serve an estimated $200,000 individuals annually. Where did you come up with that number, and how confident are you in that?
So figures such as the last one you mentioned would be based on downriver community figures of people in the environment who could benefit from that center, and also based on projections from the other centers that we've been running, in hubs spreading out from there. Veteran services are expansive. Obviously, they can be involved in the athletics, the weight training, the health training, and obviously the mental wellness as well. Like we treat through the SAFE.
But you also
PTSD.
say that your employment readiness and career transition services, that's what I'm interested in hearing
Oh,
about.
MRS? Yeah, so those are, we partner with Michigan Rehabilitative Services, and for instance, like during the summer, we have a lot of individuals come through that programming, and then they're in our centers, and they're doing maintenance, custodial work, and they're learning on-the-job training. I can
We
let
had
Maha
about
speak.
45 at Dearborn Heights this summer, and then we had about 30 at Wayne. And then I even had an intern. He was interested in accounting, and his father's a CFO, and he wanted to help. And so I helped him. I taught him how to do data entry. And he was so pleased because he's never had that opportunity.
I guess my question, is there a program? You're talking about instances, there's a program?
Yeah,
Okay.
that we have through the state of Michigan.
Through MRS, through
Through
Michigan
MRS.
Rehabilitative Services.
And
yeah.
because we've done it in the past and it's been successful, it continues to grow. And we've had, I think it doubled this summer, and we've had positive feedback from the parents and from the students and from the state of Michigan. They're very happy with the services that we offered. And we didn't only do maintenance, we also had, some did daycare because they were interested in daycare, some young girls, and some did cafe where they helped stock the coolers, and they worked at the front. We taught them how to use the register a little bit, but it was very, and then the members enjoyed it. They loved it because they were positive, smiling, and they're walking through our building, and it was just a good impact for everybody.
And one of the
With that,
conversations-
I'm sorry, with that in mind, I think it would be good to consider if once you get this built, to hire some veterans. I think it would be a good idea. Thank you.
We have a few veterans that work for us currently in Dearborn Heights.
And on that note, two of the organizations that we've been having conversations that I've been introducing them to is Downriver Veterans, who does a lot of work with that. The president, Ann Brudisil, she's working to give veterans a safe place for them to be able to get career training and help them so that they're not homeless. We have a lot of homeless veterans downriver. And then also the Downriver Community Conference does a lot of job training through Michigan Works, and they've been having conversations with them as well to bring all the resources together, because we know that we've lost a lot of state or federal funding. And funding is a huge issue. So what I've been trying to do with all these organizations is bring everyone together and find out and utilize everyone to work together so that we can get these kids something to do. If the amount of low-income communities in my district, the Section 8 housing, and the single moms that are trying to even work in the evening, that there's no help for their kids with getting them a tutor. There's no help with them when they're struggling with an IEP and the parents don't understand how to navigate that world. HYPE does that and comes in and helps them. And the Downriver community, especially the 28th House District, it just really needs this for the families. That's the only reason I would be coming to you and asking you for that.
Yeah, we currently do after-school tutoring during the school session from, it starts at 4 to 6 every Monday through Friday. And then currently the veterans are able to come into our center for a very small fee. And we have the Silver Sneakers program where they come in and we do a lot of bingo night. We do a lot of activities. We do some, right now we're starting to do pickleball at Dearborn Heights. And so we're gonna bring seniors to come in and give them something to do during the day.
I'd ask that you consider giving the veterans for free, but that's another story. Thank you.
I like that. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so do we. That is something we're.
All right,
looking
Rip.
to.
Okay, I just had a couple questions on specifically the 10 million. So will that go towards purchasing property? Or is it strictly a new build? Will any of it go towards the programming? How to kind of break that out for us, if you would.
Purchasing property and construction, strictly construction and purchasing.
Do you have the kind of the breakout of how much goes?
I think it's in the packet.
Is it in the packet? I'm sorry, I haven't had a chance to see that. Okay,
Like I said,
and
I did
then.
my best to be brief. I apologize. That's why I wanted
No,
to
that's
highlight
great.
with all that.
No, I appreciate that.
Purchase property will be about 2.5.
Okay,
And then the architectural planning is about 560,000, and the rest is for construction.
okay.
One of the really, and I apologize for noting, but one of the really interesting things about the property that they're seeking to purchase, it used to be the Icebox Sports Arena.
Ah.
And it's very near and dear to my heart, and that's what really got me excited when I heard about this organization possibly coming in to Brownstown, because from the age of 7, I used to skate at the Icebox, and we lived in Detroit, and my mom drove me the 35-minute ride to Brownstown for 8 years until I was 15, and we moved to Brownstown. And that used to house, it had 3 rinks, It was hockey, figure skating, and then after COVID, the family couldn't maintain it any longer. So that has sat abandoned for 5 years on a very busy road, on Telegraph Road in Brownstown. And to see that come alive again for the community, everyone that played hockey there always is talking about what's going on with Brownstown Icebox. Why is it still empty? Why can't anyone afford to purchase it? It would just be a really good investment and near and dear to my heart with me growing up skating there as well.
Ah, that's right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Yeah.
your time. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Rep. Robinson moves to excuse the absent members. There being no objections, the motion prevails by unanimous consent. And with no further business before the committee is adjourned.